Hello, everyone. It's Pat with our Oracle card reading and messages for this coming week, this final week of January. Today's the 28th, so we've already started into our week a little bit. But anyways, for today's reading, I'm going to be calling on the Archangel Oracle card deck like I usually do. I've pulled out the Archangel Michael deck because I just felt like with everything that's been going on in the world, I mean, obviously the things that are going on in the governments, the things that are going on with the earth, the bombshells of things that are coming out in the media, and the tragic events that are happening, like the one we just had with Kobe Bryant and that helicopter crash. And there's, and that's not the only one. I mean, there's been many, accounts that we've heard of tragic situations going on in different places, areas of the world that are just so sad. And it reminds us how fragile life is, that it can just be done and over with in the blink of an eye, really. So I wanted to call on Michael for some upliftment. He's got that sword of light. He's the angel of courage and fearlessness. And this really feels like something we could all use right now. And, any angels bring light to a situation, but Archangel Michael specifically helps to root out things that are in darkness, and to really shine the light on things in darkness that are going on, outside of the hidden agendas, shall we say. Shines the light on them, especially when it's what's going on in those hidden agendas and those dark spaces is things that are unjust. So anyways, I'm going to be calling on his deck, and I also pulled out the, Colette Baron Reid's Wisdom of the Oracle. So let's see what's came out. And I already actually went ahead and pulled out cards because I find it helps in the interest of time and getting a better sense of the reading. But anyways, after I decided to call on Archangel Michael's deck and I went to the Archangel Oracle card, it was actually, in fact, Michael who came out as the angel who's overseeing us this week with this message of crystal clear intentions. And it says, be clear about what you desire and focus upon it with unwavering faith. So this week, it's helpful to engage in Michael's help to get clear about what exactly your intentions are. Even though it's, we're in this final week of January, and usually people, around the end of the year are setting their intentions and their resolutions for the new year. I personally, for me, there's been so much going on. I've felt like I'm in limbo land lately. And so I was gratified to see this card come up because it's taken me some time. I don't know about you, but it's taken me some time to get clear or clearer about where I want things to go. Part of manifesting more quickly and easily is to have a clear understanding of what your intention or what it is that you're desiring. And that's what that card's message is about. So it's indicating that we can call on him for that, but also that maybe what transpires this week is part of what's going to help us get clear. Because, the angels, as a spiritual entity to call upon, we know that we have to ask them to intervene in order for them to be able to help us. And the more clear we are, the better that they're able to help us. Okay? For some of you who are parents out there, I'm sure you may have had times when your children are, whining at you for different things, and you might look at them and say, well, I don't know what you want. Sometimes I've even done that with my cat. I mean, she seems to be going all over the place. I'm like, I don't know what you want, honey. So clarity is important. People are willing to help if they're very clear and they understand what you want. I also feel that message has a lot to do with, as I mentioned in the reading I did for the beginning of the year, the January, February, March reading, that things are going to be coming more clear. I mean, as we've watched this Senate trial here in the United States, I've mentioned in previous readings that there was going to be more stuff coming to light, more bombshells, more things like that. And that is what's taking place. Every week there's something else that comes out. And with Michael overseeing us this week, things are going to continue to become, the intention of what's going on in that whole process is going to be coming clear. Okay? So now, for the cards I pulled out, for where we are right now, and in this, today, Tuesday, and maybe tomorrow, today, and as I said, these next couple of days, because the cards that we first pull out are indicative of where we're at right now, and in the next day or so. So there's two that came out: lean on God and the angels for support. And from the wisdom of the oracle, we got not for you and protection. So what this shows me is that, maybe right now, you might be in a very rough space. You might be struggling with something or worrying about something that's, an issue in your life or something that's going on in your world and having a tough time finding a solution. Not sure what direction to go. It isn't clear to you what direction to go. So the card, lean on God and the angels for support, is literally guiding you. The message inherent in it is it's time to turn it over. A lot of stuff that's going on isn't in your control. And it's time to call on God, the angels, or that power greater than yourself, and turn it over to that. Okay? The not for you card is a card that definitely also speaks to that, in the sense that, there's a situation that, or a relationship or something like that you've been dealing with that is not right for you. Something about it doesn't sit right anymore. It's time to stop overlooking or looking past the red flags. And maybe you've come to the point where you're clear that, clear with that realization, that it's time to stop overlooking the red flags, the writing's on the wall, and it's just time to move on from it. It's time to go. But it's not easy to do that, which is why we have Archangel Michael with that message saying, lean on God and the angels, lean on your spiritual team, whatever that is. And it might even be people in your life that you consider to be like angels to you. So that's what's currently, that's the theme in the beginning of this week, where we're at right now. What we're moving into next, the message from Michael, he says, you're on the right path. It's a card of confirmation. It's here to validate that the steps and the actions and the steps that you're taking, yes, you're moving in the right direction. Okay, it's a confirmation. And right underneath that, the Colette Baron Reid card was message in a bottle, which means you're going to be getting signs, signs and symbols that will affirm that you are on the right path. Okay. And for everybody, those are different. Some people see them as numbers. They keep seeing the same number sequences all the time. For other people, it's an animal that shows up, or sometimes it's even like a sign on a billboard as you're driving down the highway. So, and in a larger way, given the stuff that's going on in the government, I feel like this is a message from Michael that things are moving in the right direction, even if it doesn't always seem that way by the stuff that's being thrown at us on the media. Because there's all sorts of different, opinions and thoughts and, expert advice and interpretations that are being thrown at us in the media. And I'm not saying that's wrong. We all certainly like to keep informed about what's going on, and a lot of times it is very helpful. But it can also lead to feelings of confusion and unrest and, just, when are we ever going to get out of this? So I feel like this message from Michael is, urging us to trust that things are going in the right direction. Justice will be served in a way that's in the best and highest good for all of us. Okay. And we'll start to see the signs very soon. Okay. After that, I also feel like this also goes out to somebody who has, a child, a situation with one of their children that they might be really concerned about. And maybe that's part of what you were worried about. But your child is looked after, and whatever the situation, you're on the right path with them, with the actions and the steps that you've decided to take, okay? So trust in that. So what we're moving into after that, so this is more, getting towards maybe the end of the weekend. The message from Michael was positive thoughts create positive results. Okay. So that's a message of upliftment. And whatever we're moving into or moving towards that Michael says we're on the right path about, we're going into it thinking very positively, keeping our thoughts positive about it. Okay. And that's what it feels like to me when I look at that card. It's like whatever's coming up after, whatever you're going into after you've come out of this situation, you're going to be going into it feeling very positive, choosing to feel positive about it. This is going to be a lot better than I thought, et cetera, et cetera. It's not about sugarcoating. Nobody likes when they've been, had a big fat piece of soap served up to them, shoved in their mouth. And somebody who says, oh, just sprinkle glittery sugar all over it and make it look like candy. That's not what this is about. It's really when there's so much going on. Even the strongest of people have times where they struggle with things. We all have times where there's an overwhelming series of things that have gone on. It's a lot for us to take in mentally and intellectually as well as emotionally. And, we can get into that, oh, what if this all goes horribly? What if, blah, blah, blah. And actually there is a book called What If It All Goes Right? And it's a book that actually introduces a different way of looking at those what if scenarios. Because we all do that. We all have times where we get into the, what if it turns out awful? What if it all goes bad? What if it, blah, blah, blah. So this card suggests we're turning it into, or looking at it, going into it in a more positive way and using our own positive thoughts to turn things around. Because we can all get down and fall into that rabbit hole of worrying, thinking things are going to go badly, not being able to see an outcome, and feeling like, oh, God only knows what's going to happen. But we have to, at some point, stop that train of thought and turn it around in some way, okay, to create new possibilities. The card that came out with it is this one, Go to the Sea, which is about going with the flow of events, okay? I love this card because I love this idea of going to the sea. But I also like what she says about it in here. So it's about being in the flow of life, when events and conditions seem to engage you in a way that is fluid and effortless. It's a reminder that going with the flow is what you need to be doing at that point in time, okay? So you're going with the flow and trusting that things are going to work out okay. That's what this is. Relax, go with the flow. That's the feeling as we get into the very end of the week. So anyways, those are the messages that have come out for this week. And it'll be interesting to see how it all turns out. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. And I look forward to speaking with you again soon. And I hope you all have a great week. Take care.